Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Destination Happiness. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 travel tips that I wish I knew before backpacking. Includes where to go, how to find the right backpack, how much money you need, how to not overpack, staying in hostels, finding the right balance of spontaneity, budgeting tips, how to make friends, dealing with anxiety, and ways to stay safe. Okay, so number one, where to go. For a beginner, I would recommend Southeast Asia, as it's cheaper and they have lots of backpacking routes, so it's easy to meet people. Bali and Thailand are good entry countries for Southeast Asia, especially for solo travellers who are looking to meet people to travel with and make friends. Compared to places like South America, Southeast Asia is more beginner friendly when it comes to transport, booking activities, and feeling confident about travelling for the first time. These countries seem to be more built around tourism as well, so things are just a lot smoother. I have more in-depth blogs about this on my website, sophietangtravel.com. Okay, so tip number 2 is finding the right backpack. You will need one that opens like a suitcase so that you can easily take things in and out of it. Good brands include Osprey, Jack Wolfskin, Falklands and Mountain Warehouse, depending on your budget. If you get one where it all stuffs inside from the top, you'll probably get frustrated as it's super difficult to get things in and out every time. For hotter climates, you'll need less space, 50 to 60 litres is enough. For cooler climates, you'll need more space for jumpers and layers, so backpacks up to 80 litres would be good. I'll put a link to my cheap but reliable one that I got from Decathlon up here. I'd recommend it as it does open like a suitcase and the top comes off too, so you won't need to take it as carry-on luggage. You'll have a main bag and also a day bag slash backpack like I've got here for days out, just to carry your daily essentials including water, sun cream, etc. Okay, so tip number 3 is how much money to take. Southeast Asia is one of the cheaper places to travel. I spent about £1,200 a month without really holding back too much on fun activities. But when I was in South America, I spent £5,000 in 3 months, averaging about £1,700 a month, and that was on a really tight budget. You can easily spend more than this if you go out drinking a lot, which is just something that I don't do anymore, stop drinking. But even if you do have the money to spend more, I do quite enjoy ways to save money, like staying in hostels, just because it means that I get to meet lots of people and it kind of adds to the adventure. Okay, so tip number 4 is don't overpack. And the trick for not overpacking is to take fewer items of clothing that match everything. So build a capsule wardrobe, otherwise your bag will be way too heavy, which is just not only really difficult and annoying to carry, but it is also expensive on flights. In hotter places, take around 7 versatile tops and 1 jumper, some shorts, skirts, linen trousers, leggings, and some light dresses that you can dress up or dress down. For shoes, I recommend sandals and 1 pair of trainers. Then in cooler climates, take more items to layer and another jumper and more trousers. Long sleeve tops are also good, as well as thermals. You should also take a light raincoat depending on the season, so check when the rainy season is where you're going. You won't need anything like a hairdryer or hair straighteners, as they're just so unnecessary with all the heat and humidity. Jeans are also bulky, so look for an alternative trouser option. For toiletries, I have one from Superdrug. I've got this bag that has a hook on it and helps me to not overpack too much, as it's not too big. Take the little squishy travel size shampoo and conditioner bottles to put in here, and decant your other toiletry products into those as well. Microfiber towels dry quickly and are packed small, so take one of these rather than a normal towel. I do have a handy packing list on my website here, so I'll just pop the link up there as well on sophietangtravel.com. Okay, so tip number 5 is stay in hostels. There does seem to be a bad stigma about hostels, but most of them are nice, especially in Southeast Asia. Use Hostel World to look up the best ones, ask other people where they've stayed, read reviews from other travellers, and join group chats with other people who are staying there. Hostels are ideal as they're cheap, so your budget stretches further. They are also very sociable and the perfect place to meet people and make friends. They're normally in ideal locations as well, and the staff can help you with advice including things to do, places to go, and tips on how to get from one place to the next. Okay, so tip number 6. Find the right balance of spontaneity. Some things are best planned in advance and other things are best when it's left spontaneous and fun. The tricky part is to know the difference. Flights can get expensive when left too late, so try to book them in advance when possible on such as Skyscanner, Kiwi.com, Google Flights, etc. In the Philippines, for example, there are so many islands that it's almost impossible to travel without having an internal flight. So if you can book these flights beforehand as a skeleton for your itinerary, that could help you save money and make sure your flights don't get booked up. You can be spontaneous around those dates and leave enough time to explore. However, things like accommodation can normally be booked a couple of nights before and even on the same day in some cases, but just use your judgment and be mindful of busy periods. Like if it's Christmas, don't book it on that day. When you're going to a new country, you likely need to book in advance to prove to border control that you have somewhere to go, and also just good for your peace of mind that you know where you're going when you get to this new country. You'll also likely meet people that you want to travel with, which is probably one of my favourite parts of travelling, so just be open to new things and trying new activities. Tip number 7, budgeting tips. On my recent South America trip, I used an app called Travel Spend, which has multiple currencies, categorized spending and analytics, great for keeping a close eye on your budget. Everyone's budget is different, and there are several things that you can do while backpacking just to make your budget stretch further and to reduce costs. These include staying at hostels, eating local food, drinking less alcohol, planning ahead for activities and doing your research in advance, and then taking local transport or buses because you're going to save a lot there. Other money tips that I have: sign up for Monzo. This is not an ad for Monzo, it's just because I think it's good. On there you can easily split bills and you can spend in multiple currencies too without a fee. Take at least 3 cards. So for me, I use Monzo, Revolut, credit card, and then like a regular bank card. Actually, I normally take more than that, but it's just in case anything gets lost or stolen. Always carry emergency cash, US dollars preferably, and keep all your cards and spare money in different compartments in your main bag just in case, like your day bag gets stolen. Put an air tag in your main bag and your purse, and also your passport just in case it gets stolen or lost. Okay, so tip number 8, how to make friends. Stay in hostels as it's very social and there are lots of other travellers doing the same things that you're doing. Book group tours as well because you can meet people on them. Just be open and friendly and people will naturally gravitate towards you. And don't be afraid to approach other travellers to start a conversation and say, hey, maybe they're just as nervous as you are. And then if you just help other people, then people will help you, and that's a really nice way to make friends. Okay, so tip number 9, dealing with anxiety. Anxiety is normal, especially leading up to or at the beginning of your trip. Just remember why you're traveling and think about all the amazing things that you're about to experience. It's okay to feel this way. It's just how you grow and how you become a better person. Just take some time for self-care, journal every evening. I find that's good, not only for your mental health, but just to look back on. FaceTime your friends and family because that's a good way to make you feel more comfortable. And then just remember that if you don't like it, you can come home at any time and just be proud that you tried. Tip number 10, ways to stay safe. When you're out and about, use a zip up crossover bag over your shoulder. Don't hold your phone out, and if you need to use maps for directions, just change the maps to voice and then put your headphone in your ear. Always use a padlock to lock up your valuables, your passports, and I recommend keeping those with an air tag too, just in case something happens. Use Uber or a similar app to agree taxi prices before getting into them. Just be extra vigilant as well. Don't drink too much alcohol, take responsibility and care for yourself, and remember that you are your own responsibility. You shouldn't rely on others to look out for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful and will take away some of these tips for your next adventure. If you have any questions or comments, then just leave a comment down below, or you can DM me on Instagram and I'll be happy to help out at Sophie___Tang. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on other adventures. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.